Good morning, everyone. Morning, chat. Morning, YouTube. Morning, Oren. Thank you, Kabadi, for the 2 gifted. Got yourself that rainy day tracer. That's my first rainy day tracer of the day, but I'm sure it won't be my last rainy day tracer of the day. Hi, Dr. Deman, Viper, Tolma, Carrot, BS Lights. Everyone up bright and early for this career action. Morning, Coleman. 7 pints in 1 hour? I don't believe. Sounds a little bit made up, Oren. 7 pints in an hour? I believe you went out drinking, but I don't believe you had 7 pints in an hour. On God. I feel like you would actually take the... Honestly, Oren, I feel like you would actually be willing to take the Lord's name in vain, so I don't know if that helps me believe you in this situation. Morning, Jarvis. Oh, a little bit sleepy. Not a huge amount of rest and slumber last night. Oh. I remember having a weird dream, but you know when it just fades and you can't remember why it was weird, but you remember the feeling of it felt off. It felt off. It felt a little bit weird. What was the dream? Nope, it's gone. Just a vague, unsettling feeling from that dream. I can't remember. I remember the feeling of unsettling. It's the way with dreams, right? If you don't think about it straight away, it just fades from memory like it never happened. Morning Abad, morning Abito. Dream of having hair again? No. I think I never really have any of those dreams. You know, like the classic ones you always see in film and TV, like losing your teeth or stuff like that. Never anything that kind of, I guess, would fit into that, like, I don't know, body horror, for lack of a better word. 7 pints an hour, unrealistic. Yeah. I think you'd have to be really going for it. And even then, like, that's just a lot of liquid in that time as well. Also, like 3.5 liters or something. I just drank it. Pop you on the big telly so the lads can watch. Catch you in a bit, Coleman. Oh, fuck. Got a good show then. Shit. Have them on the big screen. American Frat House. Yeah, but pints are a lot. Not just like... Not a little beers. Yeah, I agree, Carrot. Off for night shift. Morning Rua. Just in time for some good Overwatch. The day I feel like is actually... It's a ramp up type of morning. Look at this. Oh, wait. You actually can't look at this because I've not got it on screen. Look at it. I've actually still not got it on screen. Wait. Which window is it? This one? There we go. Look at this. Pokerface, a new era elimination game. Bit of a dogfight here. Pokerface won the previous iteration of this series in the regular season, which was only last week. And then we've got Zeta versus Wei. We'll get a chance to see if Wei can keep up their impressive performances of recent. And then Crazy Raccoon versus Falcons. The rematch is here. You going for a Pokerface upset? Is OWCS Korea going to be at the wedding? No. I think actually OWCS Korea Stage 2 will be on during the wedding. But I will not be streaming it. We will figure something out, though. You think New Era will win? Yeah, I mean, New Era were favourites going into the original game, but Pokerface really sort of upgraded a lot since Heiser came into the lineup. Watching CX and Unterlini while I work out for maximum anabolic gains. I don't know who Unterlini is, but I presume he's probably a kindred spirit of mine. Probably should have a clue who it is before I so closely associate myself with someone, but I'm a bit sleepy, so I'm happy to throw myself into that same boat. Will Craig be at the wedding? Yes, but not the Craig you're thinking of. You think New Era are a perks team? A bit of perk believers? How the fuck did Genji lose to Peps? It's Unter, old man. They mean Unter. Ah. Thank you. Thank you for the translation. I'm going to need all references explicitly stated in my current situation, which is that I'm just a bit sleepy. Yeah, I'm not sure Hunter's going to be on today. I think he's coming back from a day out. So I don't know if he'll be on. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. If not, we can make it work. So yeah, sorry, the Overwatch question, Genji against Peps. What went wrong? So I think there was maybe some questionable comp decisions here. We saw Genji lean into the Doomfist heavily on Esperanza. I think what should be like used in all of this, I think Zodiel had a fantastic game again. Ice had a very good series. And also Team Peps had a very good series as a team altogether as well. So I think as much as you can maybe call some question marks over Genji, I think really you have to point a lot of positives towards a lot of positives towards Peps. Thoroughly good for their win. Hunter's live? Is he actually? Oh. I'll drop him a little knock then. Knock in. Oh, we've got our countdown as well. Put the audio on for you so you can hear the countdown drums. Ooh. Oh, okay, definitely going to be a ramp-up type of day. Was Zeta Falcons just a fluke yesterday? No, I think Falcons have looked dicey, inconsistent all of regular season, dropping more maps than you'd expect, losing more series than you'd expect, continue to have real problems, and I think yesterday the fact that they went down swinging on the Malga comp really just makes it seem like they're a little bit lost in terms of confidence or what to play. Losing the matchup that has been really their go-to success comp over the last year. Morning Stormbreaker. And I think Zeta are just good for it. I think Zeta have been I think they get underrated a bit still just because they never made like a Stockholm or Dallas last year because Falcons pipped them to the post both times. But I think when people think about like Crazy Raccoon and Falcons as the top two, I think it's really we only really think that because of the limitation spots for Korea. If it was a situation where 3 teams from Korea went to Stockholm and Dallas, I think we'd feel just the same about Zeta Division as we do about Falcons and Crazy Raccoon in terms of that sort of like, they're in that top tier by themselves type thing.
LCQ 팀 중에서 일단 T1이 가장 먼저 플레이오프 진출한 상황이고요. FTG는 지금 패자조에서 대기하고 있습니다. 그리고 yeah, I think I'd agree with that Stormbreaker. They were basically all the same power level, but only 2 of the 3 could ever go, and Falcons won the clutch both time on both instances. I think Falcons win today. I think Silver Violet Fact will be the decider. I mean, they play Crazy Raccoon today, so I think it's just a really tough one. Even though they played them close last time, I just have to feel like Crazy Raccoon are going to have the edge right now. Current form that Falcons are in. They always make it close, but yeah. Do you think any region will lose a land spot? No. I think for the order the lands go in, because it's going to go to Hangzhou first, right, in China. And that's the 8 teams, and that's confirmed. My guess would be we go for... There's more teams at the Esports World Cup, just because it's the Esports World Cup. So if anything, spots will actually go up. And then it's just how big they go for the end of season tournament in Stockholm. If they stick to the 8, or if they have any more. Because I think if anything, throughout the year, we're probably more likely to add... At least LAN 1 to LAN 2, we're going to add spots. Rather than anything else. Does anyone use the Ana headshot perk till now? Maka used it yesterday, didn't he? I want to say on Suravasa. It's certainly way more common. We've seen the majority of Anas use the Shrike perk, which is the nano yourself when you nano an opponent or nano one of your teammates. But we've seen I saw Maka use it yesterday. As we're going to get the ticket walkthrough here as well. Little keepsakes. What matches? So it's a New Era versus Pokerface, Way versus Zeta, and then Falcons Crazy Raccoon to finish Korea off.
Yeah, elimination game for that first one, Poker Face New Era. Loser goes straight out. Yeah, loser goes straight out, and the winner goes on to play FTG. And the winner of this game versus FTG, between FTG and the winner of this game, will get the 6th spot in the Korea playoffs. Yeah, so it's kind of just like almost for seeding. It feels really unlikely, I think, that they can get past FTG. No, just damage, Grant. Just damage. Which I think is probably a big part of the reason why, I guess the headshot one for healing would be hard anyway, because most of the time you're looking at people's backs. Not everyone has like as clear a hitbox. You think stuff like Diva. Diva or like Winston, like clear hitboxes from the back. Why have you got so many, Viper? I'm not complaining. I'll take the pennies. I think that might be true, Stormbreaker. I feel like I saw a Reddit thread on it about the headshot being bugged, but I don't know if it's enough. I mean, people aren't really playing Orisa anyway, so it sort of becomes irrelevant for the most part. Yeah, I think losing Smurf has been a big problem. I think partly hero pool wise, but also doesn't feel like Hambin's playing to the sort of like the super high standard we've really expected of him these last few years. But I don't know exactly what's going wrong with it. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna say it wrong maybe. Xantuban, thank you for the gifted. Halfway to a rainy day tracer. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going wrong for Falcons, because it doesn't feel like... Ooh, thank you, Chico, for the community gift as well. Also halfway to a rainy day tracer. 2 people making it halfway. Can they go all the way? That reminds me, we're going to cast way later, and I'm going to fall into word trap after word trap after word trap. There we go. Thank you, Chico. Appreciate the second one as well. That's your rainy day tracer secured. Thank you very much. If anyone else wants that, exclamation mark SAS. SAS provides you all the information and the terms and conditions you need. Alright, here's the lower bracket. Now we're T-Wing CT1 already qualified. And the stakes here for Poker Face New Era and FTG. Of course, mate. Anytime. Thanks for the gifts. What was I going to say? Yeah, so I don't know what exactly is going wrong from Falcons. I think it's fair to say a lot of the teams they're still losing to, they're still only losing to like the top teams really, right? Like, Way are in great form right now, but losing to Crazy Raccoon, losing to Zeta Division, is that really? Is that really? That, these aren't like, you lose to these teams, it's not crisis time, right? You know, if you're meant to be in a sort of top 3 with teams and you lose to both of them, maybe it means currently you're at the bottom of that top 3, but maybe it's in the top 3. Like, the Way one is probably hurts a little bit more, but yeah. Lost to Way, yeah. I mean, I think this looks like the time that Falcons have probably been at the weakest since their inception at the start of last year. But was it true last year as well? If I cast my mind all the way back to stage 1 last year, did Falcons also have a really slow start? Like patchy results, didn't look like they could get close to Crazy Raccoon, etc, etc. And then as we went throughout the year, better and better and better and better. Didn't they lose to Yeti? I can't remember, because I think Yeti only beat one of the teams in the end, right? I can't remember which one of the 3 it was. Nah, I can't remember. Cheers, Viper. What are you going to do with a college degree anyway? Yeah, Falcons, you say they couldn't beat him to the very end, but they actually beat him for basically from Esports World Cup on afterwards, right? Which is like 5 months of the year. Yeah, like I feel like they've, I don't know. I guess it's true of all teams, right? You're going to drop maps, you're going to drop series you don't expect, right? doesn't necessarily mean you're a worse team. Falcons are one thing that has been pretty consistent value is I feel like every time they play Crazy Raccoon, Falcons are actually good for it. There's something about that series, that matchup, puts the fire back in their bellies and they become fully locked in. Poker Face or New Era for this one. I don't know. I feel like New Era could run it back maybe. But I've been really impressed with Poker Face since Heiser came in. I think lots of their bans have been really good. Lots of their play has been really good. Creative comps as well. Really trying to make use of all of this. All of the bans and the power of that. So I think Poker Face are favourites. I'd probably go for them. We're going to start with Dart and Spintin as well for what it's worth. Are these New Era shirts new? Yeah, they had them last week for the first time. They're quite nice actually. I don't know if New Era, I don't think they're a real org, so I don't know if these, what happens in Korea quite commonly, maybe commonly is too strong a word, but it happens more than once or twice, is you get, the fans will just make your shirts. I think that was true for Vesta Crew, right? They were fan-made. So I don't know if we were in a similar situation here, but certainly wouldn't be surprised. I can get those predictions up as well. Let's see, map number 1, Poker Face. New Era. Oh, let me spell era correctly. Predictions up. All the mods sleeping in. Lazy mods. I can do it though. I've got the skill set. I've got the ability. Poker Face versus New Era. OWCS Korea. Oh. Hey, Monkey Banjo. That's a little enlarge act here, I feel like. New Era just taking the piss by sending their tallest member.
안녕하세요. 뉴에라 코치 레오나입니다.
네, 레오나 코치님도 반갑습니다. 자, 양 팀 매번 벼랑 끝에서 만나고 있습니다. 지난주 4주차 마지막 경기에서는 두 팀이 만난 후 일주일 만에 다시 만나게 됐는데요. 그때 당시에 3대1로 포커페이스 팀이 승리를 했었습니다. 일주일 만에
Way shirts were made by a fan. Oh, I think that's the same for Vesta. Maybe it's just many such cases. The kindness of Korean fans. Maybe it is a utopia like I've been told. With the rainy day skin, is it just like dropped where it shows up on my account? So there's there's some normal drops as well, where like you get rainy day, I forget the exact ones, but it's like you get like, there's some rainy day like skins and icons that you just get through drops, which is just, you know, you watch and they passively tick up. And there's also the rainy day tracer skin, which you have to give 2 subs or be a first time sub, I believe, in the chat. I think the SAS command has all like the nitty gritty of it, you know. Rainy Day May, that's one, yeah. Rainy Day May is through the drops. Rainy Day Tracer is through the gifted subs.
사실 특전이라는 시스템이 오버워치 1, 2 통틀어서 처음 도입되는 시스템이다 보니까 아무래도 그 부분에 조금 적응하는 게
Yeah, or if you're a first time sub, that also works for what it's worth.
찍을 수 있게끔 좀 빠르게 준비하려고 했던 것 같습니다.
오, 눈 감고도 찍어보겠다. 이게 사실 게임하다 보면 특전 찍는 걸 까먹는 경우도 상당히 있거든요. 하지만 이런 부분
Morning, Hannah.
없겠다.
Hannah, will you ever respond to my message?
자, 그렇다면 뉴에라 팀 어떻게 준비를 해왔을까요?
Sorry, I've come in really hot with an interrogation as soon as you said good morning. But also, will you ever respond to my message? Morning, it's an alien. Yeah, I'm good. Sleepy, but sleepy. It's 8:12 right now, which isn't a crazy time of the morning at all. But oh, thank you, Quat Corner, for the 12 months. Not a crazy time at all. But yeah, no rush. Just want to check you haven't missed it. Not the craziest time, but obviously I was up to probably about 2:30 doing EMEA and NA last night. So we're probably looking at like 4 or 5 hours sleep, give or take, somewhere in between. 12 AM for you? You're on, I guess, what would that be, West Coast? Yeah. EMEA starts 2 AM for you. That's rough, actually. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I feel like actually the UK, maybe the time zone it gets away with it the most, you know? Like, Korea is like 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Oh, thank you, Stormbreaker, for the 2 community gifts. Rainy day tracer secured.
할 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
But I think UK is what gets away with it the most, because it's like 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. / 2 p.m. For Korea, and then EMEA starts at 6 and it runs until like mid to like / 1 a.m. right? 8 a.m. here in New York, scrim ended at 3 a.m. Same feeling, same feeling. Hitting that tight turnaround. The esports life, I believe they call it. Am I going to stream OWCS China when they start streaming it? Yes. Maybe not the open qualifiers, but from like group stage onwards. Obviously, because they've announced it kind of late, I have... Let me check. I have some plans in March, which might clash. Let's see. Yeah, 14th, 15th, 16th of March I'm not available. But I can do all the other weekends, I think. So hopefully, I can't remember the exact dates here, but I think it sort of lines up okay. Morning backpack, thank you. That's alright, we're gonna have a good day of Overwatch. So I think we're actually in for a good day, right? Genji TU later as well. I've got TU winning that one. I'm a TU believer. And then North America, maybe North America's going to be a little bit underwhelming after everything else, but, you know, it's all par for the course. So we get the Super Sunday in North America. So it will be worth it in the long run, I guess. Or, just make sure I drink enough liquids. I will be hooked.
준비해온 조합이 과연 성공적일지 아니면 오늘 첫 번째 경기 첫 세트부터 약간 이제 부담을 좀 가해야 될지 굉장히 중요해 보입니다. 지난번에도 말씀드렸지만 차세대
You might pass out in this game. Yeah, for anyone who is American, East Coast or West Coast, both gonna feel brutal. They've the schedule saving the best games of the last of the day is gonna make it particularly difficult for you. You're watching productivity videos on YouTube? Yeah. You need that constant stream of motivation. I feel like maybe it wasn't the first year of Overwatch League. Maybe it was the year before Overwatch League, or like maybe like the year of British Hurricane into the first year of Overwatch League. Squid Game mentioned. They're going to kill the losing team. They're going to kill the losing team. I think this means. So the stakes have never been higher. I think they've installed some kind of trapdoor system here, so die in the game, die in real life. And unfortunately, a very classic setup. Just making the value bet stronger. I mean, I think this game is actually in Pokerface are favorites, but I think we're talking like 60-40 or something, you know. All right, so Pokerface gonna ban the Echo here. New Era gonna ban the Ball. So we've obviously seen. Let me say it correctly. We've seen Heiser play a decent amount of Ball during all of this. Since we'll force him off, we've seen him play a lot of Zarya as well. Why is it Squid Game? Elimination match? Yeah, that's probably it. Is Squid Game? I don't know. I guess we're all probably Western here as well. Is it as popular in Korea as it is in the West? Does it have the same kind of like notoriety? My guess is yes, right? Since it's making an appearance or like they're referencing it here. But I don't know if one of those things that like has that same recognition locally as well. Morning, Nico. Can't sleep, so here you are. It's alright, it's a good place to be. Probably more popular in Korea? Yeah, you're probably not wrong. Alright, Spin starting on the Pharah here. Maybe gets a good read in the DPS matchup. Pharah against Torb Sim. Not going to feel too badly about that. Turret's going to go down nice and early. And remember, of course, since we are on Night Market, these boots are going to be brutal once Felicio gets to that minor perk level. For now, though, New Era just going to try and force point with the Sim Torpid, but it should, in theory, allow Spint to just get through a lot of work right now. Look at him up in the sky. You can see Ruler trying to mark him as best he can. Rockets coming in. Dart peeking with him a little bit now. Moving in this left-hand side. They've really bullied New Era over to the far side of the point right now. They try and respond here, but Ruler can't do much more than just shoo Spint away, and Spint's just going to come and float through another door right now. So it feels like there's a big timer on this for New Era. They try and find a TP timing out right now. TP onto the backline, forces the Anna to D-peak. Can they find any kills during this? But actually the wall off onto the TP catches Archie, and now Spint should be able to regroup with the team, and they can keep just wearing them down with all this spam. Caught on the back of a point one more time. Sim turrets are up. The Boop, little drive-through coming through. They've not found any kills just yet, but there we go. Boop comes through. Heiser's going to get the rest of the cleanup, and they will get the flip after conceding 20-odd%.
You think I could trouble you for a link, because I am technologically incompetent and appear to have wound up on a bookmarked stream that probably isn't what you're watching if I would hazard a guess.
Yeah, I could hear you, I think, mate. Seems reasonable enough.
You're a good mate. You're a good mate. You really go the distance for me. And as soon as this buffer is done, but this website always works, so the sync is fine. I will be watching an Ana's POV as Missin on the Ana back of main right now, just ready. Goes for a nade over on the left, but no value whatsoever. Looks like Ruler's going to chomp that one up, but already we've got a downpour coming out from Heiser. Spint has received the nano boost as well, and Spint, I mean, no kills. This is honestly a really bad engagement because Nano and Downpour have both been invested for no kills, but forget about a bad ult fight because you get a 10-man nade, a New Era, they're gone. They invested the Kitsune rush there, but MCD couldn't find any value with it. That guy briefly rung for us a couple of days ago on Kiriko, and I can see why he's losing on it now.
It looked like they had a TP out of that one, New Era, but they sort of chose not to take it. Maybe it went to a scarier location, but they just get stuck in that corner. Easy for the Pharah, easy for the Anna to get big value, and Pokerface looking good on the Pharah comps again. Incomplete control of point, and it's going to be a barrage available here. Pokerface, he doesn't have a moving barrage perk actually, Spin, so he's going to get marked out here. TP onto point, B onto point to force it. Donghun doesn't quite have one to mirror just yet, but they can buy plenty of time. Symbol to keep forcing point. Beat back from Donghun right now, catches everyone. TP away from Archie just to try and play his life. He's behind Missing right now, but he's not doing a whole lot of anything. Go push Vienna! He's going to die to the barrage now. He's spent so long making up his mind what to do. Now back on point is Spin. Dart has the pulse bomb as well. Molten core from Dodo to try and clear it out. Pulse bomb is wide actually. Oh my god, MCT kills him as well. Dart makes a mess of that kill, and that should allow New Era to maybe even have a chance, but Missing's not done yet. Heiser's going to dive back in. And a nade's coming from main right now. Ruler trying to mark it. 1 HP on Missing if they can finish the kill. Matrix in it all. There we go. And they can't get a flip here in the end. Just about holding on, New Era.
Dogfight for Pokerface. Looked like they had a chance, but Missing. I mean, I have to be a little bit critical of the fact that they pushed onto the point. Greeting for that flip. They were 90% on the Nano. They went down at 99%. Putting yourself face to face with the enemy team when you're so close to a game-winning ultimate. Multiple game-winning ultimates coming online for Pokerface a little bit later in that fight, but they couldn't play slow during the scrap. They wanted to just keep on brawling. Ruler now hasn't got a mech, so this is again a chance for Pokerface. Nano Boost comes out onto Spins, and there's no Matrix, so both DPS of New Era are just going to get taken down by that little 1-2 from Heiser and Spin together, and that will be the retake for Pokerface. 72% and counting, but we're in last fight territory, Xavier. 88% on the cap for New Era.
Oh, late pick onto MCD as well is going to be brutal for them. They're going to regroup and go again. New Era, they really need this double support ult timing from Kivas and MCD, but they have to run the gauntlet first, get past this barrage, get past this downpour, and make sure they can test point. Ruler can mark a lot of this barrage right now, but you can see Spin, early spam, just trying to bleed out some of that Matrix. TP to point now as well. They boot the TP off. I didn't know you could do that. They boot the TP off. Is that a perk? I don't know. Either way, the TP gets booped off right there, so they don't get the value out of that. It's an awkward one. Ruler's going to get caught by the barrage, and this would be an easy one in the end, even with this Kitsune rush on point. And that was bizarre. That's new.
No, I mean, look, it's the new era of perks. Now, TPs can be booped. Spint will try to conk himself forward, but I think it'll bug out and suck him backwards instead. Nothing works the way it's intended, but that's okay, because if everybody is on the same level playing field of bugs, it's not a problem for anybody involved. That's going to be the first round going the way of Poker Face. They had a really strong start. Heiser so far ahead on that downpour. And honestly, I mean, New Era, looking a little bit tough for them, to be honest. I thought that, you know, between Kivas and MCD, they might be able to make something happen. We've seen a lot of double flex action coming out from them. But Lijiang Tower, I mean, that's not a very double flexy map, to be honest with you. So tough onset for them. Poker Face, they're just going to stick the hazard pick. Dodo, he's still on the tour, but Ruler, he's also still on this Divas. Let's see if they can find some value this time around.
Looks like they're going for a greedier backline to try and deal with a little bit of this Pharah. Even though Spint doesn't have the most direct pocket here with Lucio Anna, he has used the Shield Miner perk instead. Thank you, Matthew M081004 for the 2 community gifted. Rainy Day Tracer for you. SimTP onto point right now from New Era to try and force this one. The boop off the map, but I think Ruler should be okay. Has the boosters. Both teams just going to vie for space right now. Looks like New Era want to try and take over Dojo's side. Hei's just going to respond with a slash right now. Dart trying to find some follow-up damage. Dodo has used that overload right now. And now it's Dart moving onto the backline. Recall has been forced. MCD's been taken out of the air. So I guess the greedier backline getting its job done. Well, I say that for a second. MCD's going to die immediately afterwards. So getting their job done before hopelessly not getting their job done at all. Heiser should be able to clean up on point now.
Yeah, that's going to be another cleanup for Poker Face. No deaths at all. I'm told by Tree that not only am I terrible at my job, but also that the suck applies to you too when you're on forest. So you can suck yourself in with that one. It's not just for the enemy team. But Poker Face, they are in control. And New Era, their composition, I mean, when you're in control, when you have angular control, it's a good thing. You can play wide and you can really poke the enemy team on the approach. Retaking on Kiri and Ilari, a little bit more of a difficult story. Archie, he might be able to TP people over to wide angles and start poking out Poker Face, but really, when they control these really difficult to push chokes, and it's going to be honestly super difficult. And straight away, Archie's actually going to go down. Nano Boost comes out from Missin. Whether or not it's for Heiser to get the kills or for Missin to keep himself alive with that new perk referenced, it is, it's a question. But again, New Era, they're just done for.
Yeah, it works out. Gets a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Gets both jobs done, and New Era will be forced to reset right now. They have a lot of ults that'll be good for forcing point. Kitsune Rush wall coming up. Maybe they're going to TP all the way across. Donkin isn't ready for the point TP. He's going to go across now, but it's actually pulled Donkin out of position as the Kitsune Rush over point instead. Heiser's going to try and respond right now. It's only a 3-person beat. DPS not caught. Downpour's going out as well. Catches the sim off a map, actually. Archie's going to get taken off that one. So an opening pick, but the Captive Son has traded that one back. Now it's just going to be a dogfight in the dojo right now. Spint is raining down damage. Has that barrage there as well. Kivis, not the great place, not the best place to play. Ilari going to fly into this one. They're also low, so I think it's a 1v1 situation right now, but Dart has no cooldowns. Diva on his case. Ruler wins that one, but can they get the flip before Poker Face come back into Soul? Heiser's right there.
I mean, it looks like New Era have cleaned up all of the kills, but Heiser is back already. And honestly, New Era, I mean, fighting inside with the Ilari, it's not playing to the conditions of the comp very much. Now Ruler has to run away with his tail between his legs, and Poker Face, they retain control. Missing a little bit of trouble up in main. Maybe, just maybe, Ruler will push and try to secure that kill. Symbol comes up from Archie onto the point, and Heiser, now he's the one on the run. Dodo, he nearly gets himself booped off the map, but it's Spin to secure the kill. Trades back and forth, though, as 2 kills go the way of New Era. Make that 3. Kivas, he may not know where Ilari is good for fighting, but he can aim when it comes down to it, and that's going to be New Era securing the flip.
Works out quite nicely there. The symbol there allows New Era to put more pressure on point. That pulls all of Poker Face back to try and deal with that, keep Heiser alive as the heals are separated, and New Era finally get a bit of space for their backline to make something happen. Poker Face going to be relying on this nano boost now for the retake. Expect that could go the way of the Pharah, obviously, into the sky right now. Matches up pretty nicely into most of New Era's composition. For now, though, just trying to tiptoe onto point, build the last bits of that, but need to put some eyes on the sky right now. It's going to be a nano onto Heiser, actually. One shot onto Archie out of that. Molten Core isn't going to keep any of them safe. MCD is in big trouble. Aggressive rotation forward from Missing. We've seen this from lots of Annas with the Shrike perk, and Heiser should just be able to clean up the rest of this. Going for the Captive Son, had to make the attempt, but it's going to be a Jax. Bomb on point from Ruler. No chance for this one. We'll get knocked straight back out of mech, and Poker Face looking good to finish off map 1 right now.
Not looking good at all for New Era. These Nano war. Dart has blinked off the map, forces his own recall, but look, maybe he got to do a little bit of extra damage.
No way.
Blink, I'm not too sure. Pokerface, no, there is no way. There's no way that New Era are going to turn this fight. Pokerface, they were so far ahead, Donghoon has decided to go down with his beat out of respect. Downpour from Heiser catches 0 players, once again a big respect situation, and it's a scrap on point. New Era, all of their players are back in this one. Pokerface, they're going to come back in with that ultimate advantage, but MCD, he's closing on a Kitsune Rush as well. Dodo on the venture, he takes down Missin, 1-for-1 trades as Heiser takes down Archie, but Dodo, he gets another one onto the Symmetra, and suddenly it's starting to look like Pokerface, they've pissed this one away. Donghoon's beat has found no value whatsoever. Ruler kills Heiser, and New Era, they've clutched from the jaws of defeat.
Well, cancel that call on time of death right now, because New Era have just about got themselves back into this, and all of a sudden, going into this last fight, Pokerface have a pulse bomb, but there's not too many ults to speak of just yet. It's actually Archie's symbol that's going to be the difference maker here, as long as he can get that last 25%. Pokerface now with a very difficult situation unless Dart can find an early clutch with his pulse bomb. They're trying to tiptoe onto point, clearing these turrets out. As you can see, Archie's just going to keep spamming it, getting closer and closer to that symbol. Could be the difference maker when they get to it. Just need to keep eyes on Dart as well. Make sure that pulse bomb trade doesn't come in. Donghoon's died inexplicably before the fight. Dodo catches that one. Dart has had his recall forced as well. Awkward situation for Dart. More turrets on point, making Heiser's life difficult. Now Archie has the symbol, a chance to push with this. They need kills on this timing right now, New Era, and it doesn't feel like there's all that much pressure. Kibbies just get one, pushes from the other side. They're going to dive in right now. Donghoon and Spint trying to find the kills. They're both taken care of. And New Era have tied us up.
Miracle clutch from New Era there. Really felt like they were down and out for the count. Pokerface, they had the player advantage, they had the ult advantage, they had all they could possibly need to close out that fight, but they've let it slip through their fingers, and now the scoreline has been equalized. New Era, it feels like their biggest strength is double flex, and we're going to Control Center, which is probably the weakest of the 3 maps for a double flex composition though, so I'm very interested to see whether or not Kivas can make it work on another flexible character, or if he's just going to frag out in the spawn room and then get his ass on break.
Yeah, it feels like Pokerface, both teams feeling like they have maybe a bit of a read for each other here, as New Era going to go over onto the Malga potentially, and Pokerface going to try and preempt that with a Junker Queen here. Eyes on the backline though, because it does look like New Era once again trying this greedier backline, and a Juno in here versus Genji, Venture, Junker Queen. This is going to be really tough for MCD and Kivers.
Yeah, I mean, look, if MCD finds himself pushed, there is going to be no assistance for him. Really has to get max value with all of his cooldowns, and between Spint, Dart, and Heiser's Shout, it's going to be a huge ask. It's going to be Kivas going down right away, dashed on by Spint, very high sensitivity Genji. Apparently that makes you better at it if you come to the school of Huxal, and that's just going to be everybody for Pokerface cleaning house. New Era, they don't get a single trade. They're wiped in this first fight. Really interested to see whether New Era actually makes some swaps.
Yeah, really looking at his backliners in particular, it's Archie's going to go over to the Torb right now, so a bit more robust for himself, but you look at this choke and you do just have to wonder how is MCD, how is Kivvies, how are they going to take the space meaningfully. You can see Dart and Donkin holding his left-hand side. Stomp will come in right now, bit of a back step, trying to keep the slash out of a choke. Dart's going to come in, and actually they just delete Heiser, so I guess they're just going to barrel their way through the choke, relying on Malga to take space. Archie wins that duel on the flank as well, and they just get taken apart. I don't know if in reality, if I'm Pokerface, I want more of this middle range in the Queen versus Malga, try and bleed out Ruler a little bit before he can get his stomp value, rather than hard holding the choke. They're going to deal with these players behind right now, but making a little bit of a meal of it here. It is a Genji and a Kiriko only. Drill dash onto the tops. Can't hide up there, mate. I don't know if Missin's got out during all of this. Missin is on the run. He might die late here. Has to be careful. Kitsune will actually be invested by him. Now, the nano onto the Malga, but Ruler was actually stomping backwards out of this, so not the nano value they were looking for. Will force a TP out as well. Ruler is going to get a decent bit of damage on that. Stomp onto it, but meanwhile, MCD is being pulled into his by the knife. Heiser does confirm the kill, but New Era are winning this.
Starting to feel like Pokerface might be the new Vesta Esports crew, as they just give it away. They very demonstrably lost the fight. They start throwing ultimates into it. They use double support ultimate. New Era, they already had point control. They already had player advantage. But Pokerface, for no reason at all, they try to clutch it. They give away double sub ult, and now New Era, driver's seat situation. They've got the Cage, which is oh so difficult to counter. They've got Kivas' Ray, which is a little bit easier to counter with the Queen ultimate. But Archie, again, all New Era need to do, play slow, react. stacked. Blade comes out from Spint, catches nothing early on, but he will find MCD. He gets caught in the
Nicely
cage. Is that a
done.
Rage Axe? No, it's not a Rage Axe. Archie now 2 for 2 trades. No supports online for New Era though, as both have gone down to that Blade, and it's looking like Pokerface. They might actually have clutched this one out.
Really good Blade from Spin to clutch that one out. It looked like he was going to struggle to get both kills, yet just about finds the connection to finish them off. And that's a huge swing factor there, because that is also Pokerface winning the cage fight, which is the most difficult fight in this Junker Queen versus Malga matchup. So a huge one to break from now, and Pokerface have a real chance in this final map. Dart is on the flank with that Tectonic Shock as well. Has the perk that gives him the extra, the faster cooldowns while he's using his ult as well, so a little bit more powerful. But where is Missing going? It's an aggressive nade. We are in, and it's an absolute whiff on the nade. Dart still finds a trade for it though. Molten Core just to try and buy some space and a chance to live, but Spin has got the angle on Farah, takes down Archie, and this retake might be over before it starts. Are they going to commit to
Flash in
it?
the pan of a retake. Oh, Donlin, I mean, he's fighting over on the coast. Spint is incredibly low up on the high ground as well. He's going to have to take the Mega. That means the point fight, surely advantage for New Era right now. Ruler, he's invested the shout, taking down Dongu. Nano Boost comes out from Missing. It's on Heiser. That's 2 Nano Boosted players for Pokerface, but no kills as a result. Heiser, only 80% on the ultimate right now. Doesn't have that Queen ult online to keep them alive. And it's looking like New Era, they're just going to clean this one up.
Yeah, that Nano 4 would be the saving grace there. Suddenly they get to rotate in with an aggressive nade from Missing. Heiser is turbo boosted as well. But really didn't seem to take all that much damage considering it was fighting 2 Nano players on point. So they get a retake here. And it's going to come down to a final fight situation. But look at the ults here. New Era nearly have 4 online.
4 ults for New Era. Pokerface really fighting an uphill battle. Outrageously early nano boost from MCD. He can't see a goddamn thing. Clearly hasn't been studying the games where Fielder is nano boosting himself into the enemy backline. And that's going to be 2 ultimates invested for New Era for nothing. Queen ult comes out from Heiser now on point. 1-for-1 trade though, because Heiser can't keep himself alive even with the lifesteal. Spin catches Kivas in the air. 94% on Ray. This is final fight, by the way. We're not going to see that Ray. But New Era, they might just be clutching it out anyway. Ruler pins into the white room. Dodo finds so many kills. And New Era, they've won it. Unbelievable.
Not... I mean, it looked like the exact type of disaster you could make with a significant ult bank to ruin the fight. But I guess, ultimately, they still got Cage on point, right? The Rampage didn't get that big value, so the Cage is able to convert in the end. But untidy from both teams. New Era just about get themselves over the line. But yeah, not straightforward. New Era seem pretty pleased with that one here, and we'll go over to the Pokerface pick, which has actually been, honestly, one of the best banning teams in Korea. I think has been Pokerface these last few weeks.
Today, I think it's going to be a slot-heavy segment between maps,
Yeah.
to be honest.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm going straight to the transition. I'll see you on the other side.
I'm gonna grab more water because my voice is 100%. You're not wrong, Pineapple. Is my voice okay? We're only 2 days in. We're barely 2 days in. We are 1 day and a little bit in. Alright, good night, Viper. But it's alright. We're just over a third of the way through. Let me get some more water, because this is not gonna be enough. Alright, I'll be right back, and we can take it from there. Oh, I can't remember not too happy. I can't remember now.
첫 번째 세트에서는 뉴에라가 승리를 거두게 되면서 1대0으로 앞서나가고 있습니다. 아, 마우가 득점 활용도가 참 좋았었던 뉴에라였어요.
네. 게다가 이제 본인들의 좀 팀 컬러에 맞춰서 정원에서 결국 좀 과감한 일리아의 선택이 결국 좀 마지막까지 좀 웃을 수 있었고 좀 조합 변경을 라운드에 맞춰 좀 잘 가져간 것으로 보이고요.
자, 두 번째 세트는 리알토로 향하게 됩니다.
그거는 뭐
공중을
포커페이스에서 우리가 제공권을 확보를 하겠다.
네.
아니면은 거기에 뱅카드를 써라. 이런 거겠죠.
Alright, you're on
이제
Rialto.
포커페이스가
Pokerface have picked
VC를
Rialto.
할 때
So you know what this means?
폴시로 고속도로를 낸 적도 있었던 리알토가
I'm expecting a diva ban from Pokerface, and I'm expecting them to go Farah, Mercy, maybe Farah, Mercy, Hanzo.
그만인 거라서
네.
Potentially ruler on Winston.
아니면 이제 룰러 선수의 좀 영폭을 겨냥한
네.
디바 밴으로 가고 파라를 못 쓰더라도 헤이즈 선수의 윈스턴을 가져가는 구도를 그릴지 봐야겠는데요.
그렇죠. 선수 교체가 있는 것 같죠?
네.
에일리언 선수가
Hold on, I need to type to my mods.
아무래도 리알토 전장이 긴 전장이기도 하다 보니까 히트 스캔이 좀 필요하다.
그렇죠.
판단하에 포커페이스 에일리언 선수가 들어오게 됐어요.
조합의 메인 딜을 섞고 안 섞고에 따라서 그 안정성이 달라집니다. 분명히 필요한
getting-
거고요.
네.
Music copyright strikes.
앞서서 말씀을 드렸다시피 포커페이스가 이제 공중을 워낙 즐겨쓰는 팀이다 보니까 수비 밴으로
Just been
갈
sent an image
것이냐,
of my friends are in my friends are in Cardiff right now to watch for Six Nations. But the Six Nations obviously hasn't started yet, so they've got me on the screen instead. So I'm the pre-show here. I don't think I can offer much insight on the Six Nations. But I think I'm rooting for England and they're rooting for Wales as well. So we want Wales and England to do well.
숙련도는 우리가 좋다라는 생각을 하고 있을 것 같아요.
아니면 아예 과감하게 본인들이
What am I
아예
doing? I'm
트레이드
sending
안-
this.
트레이드도 나쁘지
I'm sending this
않으니까.
image to my mods. There we go.
사이드에 특히가 돌기 시작하면 워낙에 좀 부담감을 좀 느끼다 보니까
야, 전국 에헨 연합이
If you donate to the mods, can you get some channel points?
헤이저.
No, there's actually no way to give channel points here. So it's a strictly controlled currency. We can't manipulate the market to that degree. Isn't England in Wales? No.
에헨
American identified.
애기 햄스터
가능성 있어요.
맞나요? 애기 햄스터 맞나요?
저 선생님,
선생님
애기 햄스터인가요?
맞네요. 애기 햄스터 맞네요.
그런 게 있네요.
이것도 육아를 하시다 보니까 심각히 알아보니까
Zara has now thoroughly riled up both the Welsh and the English. No, they're both part of the United Kingdom, but they are separate countries.
이런 잠깐의 휴식 굉장히 중요하죠.
너무 중요하죠. 예, 에너지 회복 중요하기 때문에 또 탱커면 얼마나 부담스럽겠어요.
그걸 또 알아주시네요 또. 예.
노력 끝에 룰러 너의 시대가 반드시 올 테니까.
And especially now,
룰러
during the Six Nations
좀 1등을 찍었다는
enemies.
이야기가 있었었는데요.
확실히 뭐 지난번 경기에서 패배를 하긴 했지만 시그마의 폼 너무 좋았었고요. 그리고 그 옆에는 우리 모이라 협회장님,
예.
창희 협회장님 포토카드를
MCD 키우네요. 필요와.
자, 뉴에라의 그 승리 1승의 POTM 주인공은 MCD긴 했거든요.
맞아요.
그쵸.
오늘 좀 팀을 구원하면서
Now we're getting some real rivalry. All right, so it is going to be the Diva ban coming out. Why did they ban Farah already? Our new era, is it possible new era are stupid?
너네 이제 에코밴 풀렸잖아. 우리 에코로도
Let's see.
카운트 칠수 있는데 라는 생각이
Yeah, why did new era ban Farah?
어쨌든 뉴에라는 과제에
New era should just ban Farah.
디바가 어쨌든 밴돼서
New era dropping the ball here. Yeah, they're gonna have to just deal with Farah Mercy now, and they're not gonna have a Widow to deal with it, and because they banned it themselves, they're not gonna have a Diva to deal with it. So presumably they're gonna start an Echo here right now. Yeah, I think this is actually looking a little bit rough for New Era. This is like Pokerface's go-to like pocket pick in terms of map and bans and everything like this. So I think really should have been a Farah ban in response here from New Era. They could just play Echo. Yeah, maybe they're happy with it as long as they play the Echo and they hope the Echo can just mark or keep the Farah contained. Pokerface here starting on the defense, and as you can see, they have wasted no time at all getting themselves on that Winston Farah Mercy here. Looks like New Era So okay, they haven't banned it, but they are expecting it. By considering an Echo Mercy to match for Pharah Mercy. It's not the worst decision in the world, don't hate it. But we'll see how that translates. Wouldn't even be surprised if Spint even mirrors the Echo at this point, but Spint has been looking pretty good for it over the course of the last couple of weeks on Pharah right now. Just cop a nade though, that'll slow him down for a second. But looking for these rockets, early pressure, it's a Lari coming out from Kivers as well, so again, more I guess anti-air ability, but we've seen Pokeface get good value out of this comp before with the D.Va ban.
I mean, look, the D.Va ban is good on this map, right? One of the best D.Va maps in the game. Interesting to see someone trying to pull a Winston maneuver on it, though, because I do feel like even with D.Va ban, it's still going to be an off-tank dominant map. Ruler on the Hazard. Not sure whether he's going to be able to shut out Heiser's value. It's super rare to see a Mercy as well, and I think New Era, if they can just spread themselves nice and wide, Kivers should be able to find some value. Dodo coming in on the flank right now. If only he could aim his stickies, he would have had a kill there. Unfortunately, no hand situation, and Spint is just going all the way. So New Era, even though it felt like they had good setup, they don't find the kills.
Yeah, now Spint should just be able to take over. Has to be careful not to get traded right now. Manages to get out of that one, and while the Echo into the Pharah is kind of a classic counter in many situations, I feel it's more reasonable on the defense where the Echo can just mirror the Pharah's position, try and stop that Pharah Mercy taking any sort of reasonable space. Here on the attack where Dodo is sort of forced to try and make plays and open up the fight for his team, I think a much harder job. You saw there, Dodo goes for his play, doesn't make it, and meanwhile, Spint and Dongan, they're just floating around getting massive value, and now it's Nano on the Nano in the bank, Balk in the bank for Pokerface. Should be another comfortable hold.
Yeah, look, I mean, now that this hold has been solidified a little bit, Missing, he's got that Nano boost to keep things healthy. Nano comes out onto Spint, and straight away the side fight is eliminated. But it's actually a really good trade right now. Sleep across the board. Ruler finds a kill as well. So Pokerface, they're at a deficit. They've got no mercy to get the res. Alien finds a kill. It's a 2 versus 2 right now. But New Era, their spawn is closer. It's only Missing that remains up on the high ground. Don't get traded, Archie. Don't get traded, for the love of God, mate. Looks like Missing is not even going to be forced out from this high ground, though. So New Era, they found some kills. Pokerface have burned an ultimate in all of this, but they're not out of the woods yet because there's a Primal Rage to contend with. There's Bob. There is Pharah's Barrage. And honestly, Dodo caught out. Oh, unbelievable. Missing traded. Heiser finds another kill onto Archie, but still, I don't think New Era can push this with no DPS.
No, very disparate fighting. They're going to go for the res as well, so Missing will reclaim that high ground position immediately. And really has to just consider playing his life here, I think, in this. We're going to lose MCD on the way in here. And they have to be careful here. New Era doesn't turn into a big stagger, but actually Barrage to secure that kill on Ruler. I don't know if that was worth it, ultimately. It feels like he was kind of cooked no matter which way it went down. But Barrage, not the highest value ult, so not the end of the world for Pokerface either. Just needs to be careful they don't get traded late. Dodo is actually going to try and copy right now. Captive Sun coming around the corner, catches Spin, gets the trigger and the explosion right now. Dongan 1 second away from res, but can he get it in this situation? Has to care, but has to care the copy. Pharah forces him out of copy, looking for the res again, but more pressure onto Dongan right now. Just trying to play his life as best he can, but there we go. Ruler will finish it off. Have they dealt with the Pharah Mercy? Archie's found the kill onto the Ana during all of this, and Pokerface, they have to concede a lot of space right now. Going to rely on this Bob to contest point.
Bob for the touch is good enough to buy Pokerface some time, though. There's only 30 seconds on the clock for New Era right now, and Heister still has that Primal Rage. Nano Boost just around the corner as well. In comes the Bob. It's not going to contest the card. It's going to be a flank Bob. That has a good angle in main. Archie, he's got an angle in the back, but it looks like he's not really pressuring the point very much right now. Heister is now jumping incredibly deep. Ruler's gone down with the downpour. 10 seconds on the clock, Ruler, mate. It was do or die, and you have died. Heister coming in with the Primal Rage right now. Nano clock on Archie. Archie takes down Spint. It's very back and forth, but Heiser will find that kill. Downpour is still available for Ruler. Will we see it before the round ends? Hopeless.
Comes out, is just bubbled there as well. Rez is going through right now. Dongan! Oh, the sleep just about gets Dongan out of trouble, and now Ruler in a 1v many situation will get full held there. And looking good for Pokerface on their map pick.
Poker Face, I mean, look, they took it to this map pick knowing that they were confident there. They ban out the Diva, they play the Winston, and it felt like New Era really didn't have a response. They played the double flex backline, which is a little bit vulnerable to the Winston, especially not so much in the neutral, but once those nano turns come online, once the primal is available, so hard to keep people alive. Poker Face, their comp was greedy. They had a Mercy, for Christ's sake. But at the end of the day, if it works, it works. They got themselves fully team wiped, but they built up enough ults that they could recontest and they could snowball with their ults. So really, New Era, I mean, it's a huge ask for them to cap at this point. They're playing Hazard on first point. Their only strength is double flex. And Heiser, I mean, this guy's got them on lock with the Winston. Got Domin's on the Mercy again.
They love it. This is fair. Anytime they can cover Farah Mercy, don't have to ask them twice. I will say New Era's comp should feel a little bit better on the defense now. If Dodo can just mirror Spint's position and they have like an Ilari and an Ana supporting it, and even an Ash from far back, maybe a bit easier to keep track of that Farah Mercy, but it's going to be some of the same situations where even if they can do that, the nano turn, the primal turn, going to be really scary. We saw Heiser's primal at the end there. With that heavy landing perk, probably the difference maker in getting that kill on the Sojourn as well right now. So that ult's going to be even scarier for him. Alien starting on the Hanzo right now. We'll see if it's just for a Sonic. He has played this on attack previously as well, so might just be happy to play that one. Any pick is going to go a long way here with the full hold for Poker Face, putting them in a great position.
Ruler now making the move over to the Sigma, which again is a hero that matches up quite poorly into Winston once the ult fight comes online. That being said, again, attack first point here. Poker Face, I'm not expecting much from their neutral game on the offense. I think the New Era, they've got the comp for the neutral, but it's when the ults come online that it's going to start to be problematic. Heiser has been slept up early on, though. Ruler's quite low, though. Not sure what has caught Ruler out, but with the enemy Winston slept, Ruler has been pre-fighted. You know, sometimes you think you're peppy, but you're just Ruler on Sigma. That's the way that it goes. That's what I've been telling Kellen that for weeks now. You know, you're not peppy, you're Ruler, mate. Like, it's the way that it is. Oh, Peppy can do it. You can't, mate. Grow up. And that's going to be everybody from New Era going the way of the Dodo, including Dodo, in fact. And we might just see a cap now, an absolutely pathetic defensive hold from New Era as Poker Face just steamroll through to the end. No ults required, nothing but net, and that's the map.
Wow, that was...
What a joke.
That was not a defense. I'm being told, actually, he was slept as well, but you have to feel like if you're holding that choke on Sigma, there's got to be enough ways for you to avoid the sleep, that you don't get caught out like that. But apparently not, and that is a very, very quick Rialto.
Oh, that was... Yeah, I'm going to slop. I can't even analyze that.
There's nothing to... Just fall over.
Tomathan, take it away, mate. 2 gifted subs for the Rainy Day Tracer skin, though, if anyone wants to push for that. Exclamation mark drops? That's a great question. If only I had an answer for you.
Oh, sorry, I see you, Ewan. No love for Scotland. No love for Scotland. Sorry, I missed a question from Ajax. Can you explain the Falcon situation? I've just sort of struggled. I don't have like a great answer for it. They've just kind of struggled in all of their games. I think the way the meta has gone so far in Stage 1, we've seen a few different versions of it, right? We've seen Hazard early on. We've then seen sort of Diva, Ram come into it, play a little bit more. But I feel like we're just in a situation where it's never been a meta where Hanbin can hard carry. I think Zeta have suffered some of the same problems in the fact that there's been a really ball-heavy meta, Hazard-heavy meta here. Zeta have solved some of that really just by Bernard being really good. There's a replay here of this Sigma pick that opened up that offense. So I feel like some of the struggle is Hanbin. Everyone else feels like they're playing quite reasonably, honestly. I mean, Fielder had one bad map yesterday. I feel like Chio's actually had a really good Stage 1 despite everything, so I don't have a clear answer for it. I think some of it is hero pool problems for Hanbin. The fact that a lot of the teams they're playing at are just really good, right? Like losing to Crazy Raccoon and Zeta Division, I think almost just means like, I mean, anybody can lose to those teams, right? They really look like the 2 best teams in the world right now. But obviously the standard Falcons have for themselves in terms of the investment they've made, the quality of their roster, has to be better. But I don't know if I see a way out for it a way out of it for them now until like the end of stage 1 when the rosters unlock or something, and they can maybe make some changes, because it feels like Hanbin isn't up to par right now. Even when he plays Diva, you know, we talked about maybe hero pool problems being a bit of an issue, you know, so like he's outmatched on the Hazard, he's outmatched when it's obviously a Winston map or something, he's outmatched obviously on Ball if it's a good map for Ball. But even on the Diva, it doesn't feel like he's had the same level of play that we would maybe normally expect from him, or the same impact. Hammond is betting you, by the way. Yeah, probably. But they didn't give me the paycheck to play tank for them. When playing Mercy in Pro Play, how exclusively does she just pocket the Pharah? Almost, well, yeah, exclusively. Mercy is really a niche pick. We saw Falcons use it once to pocket an Ashe out of like Route 66 in like an overtime attack situation. But yeah, I think most of the time you're using it for the Pharah, and we've seen it. I think every time we've seen it, it's been off the back of outside of that one time when Falcons used it for like 2 fights. Most of the times we see it, it's mostly been Poker Face, but it's also just Pharah Mercy into a Diva ban. I think if you can get that Diva ban, all of a sudden your ability to deal with the Pharah Mercy comp becomes really, really difficult on maps where it's good, like Rialto, like Lijiang Tower. We don't really see Mercy in any other situations, at least not for a very, very long time. If Falcons lose against Crazy Raccoon, what will happen? Not that much, really. Where we are right now in terms of a tournament is the Korea format's slightly different. So they're in a seeding tournament right now. Falcons alongside these other teams in the top 4. And all this seeding does is the top 2 get to go straight to the semi-finals, and the losers have to go to the quarterfinals and play the winners of the last chance qualifier. So no matter how badly this weekend goes for Falcons, it doesn't mean anything in terms of they won't get eliminated or anything like that. They'll just get worse seeding, you know? And then they'll have to either play against T1 or most likely FTG if this bracket goes the way we expect it. But the problem more for Falcons is if they just don't look like they can compete with a Zeta Division or a Crazy Raccoon or even a Way, all of a sudden, you've got to really worry about their chances in that playoffs. Oh, I've minimized wrong. I didn't mean to minimize it. I meant to go back to this tab. Not double elimination? No. I mean, obviously, they've done like a billion seeding things, so I don't really mind that it's not double elimination. But yeah, single elim and then a 3rd place match as well. Remember, though, this is also just to get to, because there's always another tier in Korea. I think it's top 4 go to the Asia LAN. So again, as long as you can get top 4, you get to the Asia LAN, and you get a bit more time, etc., more chances to recover. So as much as this is a rough situation for Falcons right now, there's still actually loads of time for them to recover it, which is the one sort of saving grace for Falcons situation, you know? They don't have to win this weekend to secure their spot at China. They don't lose their spot or their chance at China if they lose today either, or this weekend either. So it's like they've still got plenty. As long as they can do okay enough in the playoffs to get top 4, and in reality to get that top 4, they only have to win the quarterfinal, right? Which, depending where they go, obviously T1 is going to play Seed 4. So if Falcons finish bottom of this group, or whoever finishes bottom, they will play T1. Whoever finishes 3rd will go and play the winner of this lower bracket, presumably FTG. Other games after this today is we've got these 2 seeding games, so Zeta versus Way and Crazy Raccoon versus Falcons. And then obviously this all filters into the Asia LAN. When we go in Asia LAN, which will have an online group stage here. But yeah, 4 Korean teams go to that, 2 Japanese, 2 Pacific. And then they play an online group stage. Out of that online groups, 2 teams progress from each of them. They will enter a playoff bracket, which is full double elim. And then this bracket, these 2 finalists this is our who goes to China bracket. So plenty of war action still to come out of Asia. Plenty of time for Falcons to recover. But I imagine if you are a Falcons fan, you want to see improvement quicker than that, you know? You don't want to... I mean, if it happens, if they can clutch it out in the end, they can clutch it out in the end. But you really want to see some sort of signs of improvement or signs of progress, I think, if you're a Falcons fan. Which has been a little bit short of these last couple of weeks.
겐지와 마우가가 각각 밴이 됐어요. 일단은 유에라가 먼저 이제 밴 선밴이었었거든요. 그러니까 이게 헤이저
Any perks affecting the meta anyway? Not massively, I don't think. I think a lot of the heroes we see were heroes that were kind of meta anyway. We're obviously only a few days into it, so maybe that will change over time. Maybe one of the most interesting ones was actually the Falcons v Zeta series yesterday, where it was just a full-on Malga mirror for 4 maps in a row. That was probably the most impact. It feels like the biggest change we've seen since the perk patch hit. But I don't know how much of that. Maybe you do want to give some of it to perks, right? Because the Malga has like extra sustain, slightly buffed charge in some situations. So maybe that has made a difference. We're actually going to see the Malga ban come out here as well. I think, to be fair, maybe I've said it yesterday as well, but I think Blizzard have actually done a pretty good job. Making perks feel good for the players, or, you know, if you're playing that hero, it feels like your hero can do slightly more. You've been empowered in some ways. But, not making it feel like anything is super broken or impossible to play against or hugely meta-defining. So it feels like Blizzard have found a right sort of level here in terms of how strong perks should be. Alright, so on to Blizzard World. Malga ban from New Era here, which is a bit of an interesting decision. I don't know if really in this situation Pokerface were going to do it anyway. Maybe it's more of a tank protect angle than anything else. And it's going to be an Anazen backline from New Era. We've seen a lot of success from MTD and Kiviz on this before. Pokerface, though, probably going to be quite happy to play the dive. And they see no D.Va, so they're just going to press the Pharah Mercy button again.
Look, Pharah Mercy, I mean, if it works, it works. Donghoon on the Mercy, just outrageous in the year 25 to see somebody picking this hero. Double. We got the Zen Ana backline for New Era, which is a very squishy one, but into the Winston and the Pharah Mercy, I feel like there's a chance to make it work. I feel like there is not all of the tools to actually take that backline down. There's no D.Va, there's no speed, so maybe, just maybe, if New Era can weather a storm for a couple of seconds, maybe one ult, then maybe they can make this work. Pokerface on the advance, though. It feels like they're taking space little by little. We've got the Pharah Mercy. I mean, they're taking the inside. They are bottom left on the Mega Health Pack right now, which feels like a controversial take, but New Era's backline, out of respect, it appears that they're going to box themselves into a corner and MCD is going to go down. So Pokerface, they've got the first pick. They've got the Mercy res in case someone... it's over. Pokerface have got this one.
It feels like it's not actually the best map for a Pharah Mercy, and we can see Donghoon just stuck running around inside a room, which is not typically where you want to find yourself if you're a Mercy, but really have to ask some questions here of the New Era backline on how on earth Heiser can get immediately slept and naded, and then still just kill MCD anyway in front of everybody else. Feels like Heiser really got away with that one. Maybe worth noting with this Pharah Mercy pick as well, that Fearful has been subbed in to play the Winston here for New Era, but very much a classic Winston player. Doesn't have a D.Va in their back pocket right now, and doesn't even look like he's got much of a Winston in his front pocket either, so just empty pockets all round for Fearful in New Era right now.
Yeah, we're checking Fearful's pockets, and it appears that there's just nothing to speak of. Fearful, he gets subbed in, and you know what? A man with empty pockets does absolutely nothing. Spint, he hits the conk into direct on to Archie, but there's no kill converted. Fearful jumps up, one more step up to the plate. There's a nano boost available for both sides right now. Double support ultimate about to be online for both ends, so really, it could be a tale of 2 nano boosted Winston dives right now. Primals on either end, so many ults about to come online. Pokerface, they keep pushing the cart. Fearful, he's blocking cart as Winston bubble goes down for Heiser on the objective. Good God, if Smash saw you do that, you would lose your job in a heartbeat, or at least have your confidence crushed to nothing. Barrage comes out from Spint, but he's already antied, so Archie's going to find the kill on Spint there. Res comes out from Donghoon, and apparently Fearful not in a position to cancel that res, but he's good for one with the primal, checking his pockets, and it appears that he does in fact have that dog in him, or at least in one of his pockets.
Good for it as well. Doesn't manage to get the next kill. It looks like Alien was able to get to that sidewinder perk as well, because that coach gun sure took Alien all the way away from Coast Fair. So will be 2 ults invested. Falcon Barrage were used here, so a 2v2 sort of trade in all of this, but New Era in control of this high ground now should be good for the Zen, the Ana, the Ashe, as they continue to try and force point right now, but Fearful can just match all of this, but they've lost Kivi's on the way in now, and now Spin can clear it. He is traded, but Alien's pushed up and dealt with 2 right now. Nano in response onto Heiser right now, dealing with this Torb. Will finish him off as well. Rez, always a handy tool to have, I guess. Bob has actually come out onto point right now, and they found a trade out of this, Archie. I don't know if that's really worth. I guess Ana is relatively high value here, because it's going to be a long time coming back. Rez was burnt too. So actually maybe not the worst trade at all, even though it cost the Bob.
Look, it would be even better if Pokerface could stop peeking for just 1 second rather than getting picked by MCD sitting in spawn sniping away. Donghoon, he has rezzed Archie, but Pokerface, they're going to have to slow down a little bit, wait for these respawns before they can push again. Fearful, he is just wandering up in main. Kivi still has that Trank Dodo with the Tor bolted as well, but he's being dived on high ground right now. Looks like he wants to scrap it out with Heiser. Primal Rage comes out, Sleep goes wide. Dodo is now Tor bolting all over the point. That Molten Core hopefully going to slow Pokerface's advance, but with Heiser finding a kill on Archie, it's already looking dire. Kivis invests the Trank on point, MCD 70% on that Nano, but really, when this Trank ends, it's a do or die situation for New Era.
Boss, Alien in a lot of trouble right now, doesn't have the bullets to get himself out of that one against Dodo, and it looks like New Era might have just stabilized off the back of that pick. They've got their eyes on this Tracer, but Heiser's actually trading this Torp out right now. Fearful's going to try and go deeper. He doesn't have the Primal, the defensive nade as well. He's killed Heiser, though. Just about had a sightline there for his team to help out. They're going to go for the res. Donghoon will get the res. This fight will prolong. Donghoon has the Valk to keep going right now, as Kiv is just going to walk into this Winston, make Heiser's life hell. He's going to get nanoed as well onto this. Heiser's going to try and run. No escape for him here. The Valk has been popped. But I think no hope for Pokerface in this one without their tank. They're just going to have to concede it. Fearful is still dived in and found a kill. Sleep is good, actually, execution from MCD. And New Era get the hold again.
New Era, they hold on. Pokerface really fighting for dear life at this point. It felt like they had a chance, but no. They just kept on getting themselves picked. Donghoon has actually made the move over to the Brigida now, finally giving up on the Mercy Gambit. And New Era, I will say that, you know, their composition, it's a bit risky, but end of second point when you've got these really long... Archie, what are you dynamiting? When you've got the Ana's End back to the wall... Yeah, back of second point, it's really hard to find a dive. Pokerface, if they can get a good nano dive, it's a different story, but I think New Era, they should be able to position in a way where that should be very awkward. Nano, oh, Primal comes out from Fearful. He's actually going all the way to spawn. Missin's dead. There's no nano turn. There's 1 fight left on this map now.
Pulse Bomb out as well, gets damage, but no kill from Spin, went wide. Pokerface without Verano are just going to slow this down, wait for that nano turn, but this kill, this fight win has bought valuable time for Kivis to get up to that Transcendence, which will be the perfect answer to any kind of nano push. They're going to maybe die late as well. Donghoon's in so much trouble, and they've actually just made a mess of this. Kivis is going to take down Heiser. And they're gonna have to scramble for this one in the end. Pokerface. They've got Nano Primal coming back, but they might even have to be popping this just a touch. Bob and Transcendence on point for New Era.
Bob and Transcendence. I mean, really, that's all you need in order to hold on. We've got Pokerface. I mean, they're creeping on up. They have to get that touch, but I just don't think that they've got it in them with the old situation for New Era right now. Bob comes out in main. Heiser jumps for the touch. He's 99% on Primal. He goes down before he can build it. Missin again goes down with the Nano Boost. And I mean, at this point, it's all formality. Pokerface, they couldn't find any ult value. Missin, he had that nano boost at 50 seconds, and he hasn't managed to find a single opportunity to use it. Heiser dead 99% on the Primal because he had to touch. That's going to be a hold for New Era.
Yeah, we see it a lot. We see it in EMEA where Vision play a version of this comp a lot, specifically on Blizzard World. And it's one of those that always feels better on the defense than the attack, especially once we get to that second point and the Ana Zen can just take over. Similar we see on maybe King's Row third defense as well. Just a really good part of the map for it there. And what you need to break out these really difficult far back holds from a greedy backline is you need your ults to find value, your nanos, your primals, these ults you can go deeper than you normally would with. And that was what was lacking there for him on the attack. And now, pretty reasonable distance to try and match here for New Era. And they're going to have their own ult turns for it as well and everything like this. They're going to try the Pharah Mercy, again just gambling that Fearful just really won't go Diva under any circumstances here. And they might be good for that one as well. But Vafara Mercy, compared to when we saw it on Rialto and it's all these rooftops, Vafara Mercy can play and flank and get into good positions from. This Blizzard world is actually just pretty open. There's really limited options, I think, for Vafara Mercy here.
Yeah, look, it's going to be super tough for the Fire and Mercy, but Pokerface, they're going to stick it out anyway. I feel like going with this comp, it's just asking for trouble when the alt turns come online for New Era. Attacking on the Arna's end, it can be a little bit difficult, but maybe Kivas is going to reconsider that. Maybe, just maybe, you aim-centric bastard, you play Brigitte for an offense and just play for the alt comp. Dodo's sticking it out on the Torb on the offense as well, which I feel doesn't play very well into the Farah, but look, I mean, I'm not going to say if it works, because at this level of play, it's more of a spin the wheel and see what happens situation. Both teams playing very goofy comps that don't feel like the best dive comps available, but a nade is splashed onto Miss and high ground very early on, and Pokerface, they're going to concede the early choke space.
You see Spint here is actually playing a fairly, I guess, narrow formation in terms of just playing above his backline right now. Just trying to get little bits of off angle. Playing more like, I guess, like a classic poke DPS would, rather than going on these big, long adventures like he was on Rialto. Gonna try and just keep following Fearful's position, making all of these dives as hard as possible. Bubble has been forced very defensively here from Fearful. He will back up. All of this nano charge is going over to MCD, though. Archie's in big trouble. Defensive nade keeps him alive for now. Fearful trading up a choke. Spint considering going for more. He's got all in here. Heiser will land with that dive as well. MCD's in big trouble, but they've lost Missing during all of this. And we see the problems here for Pokerface's comp. Spint can get a lot of value, but who on earth is looking after Missing?
Spint is going for value in the backline of New Era, but good God, Dodo on the Torb has flanked all the way to the objective, taken down a support by his lonesome. How does a Torb clop his way all the way to the objective and solo kill a support? It's ridiculous. Now he's popped the overload, he's pressuring Heiser out of the fight. The recontest, it's not even going to happen. Pokerface, they're falling apart at the seams. Mercy, Anna, grow up.
Now, New Era in a pretty good position. Nearly got both their support ults as well. Coming up to that Primal, they have to worry about Barrage. They have to worry about Valk. But, I mean, how worried are you ever going to be about Valk in reality? Good situation for New Era here. They can just keep forcing the payload as well. But again, that Discord is going to allow them just to clear the Winston. All these problems we saw Pokerface have on their own attack in terms of trying to use Vafara to clear the Winston. But Zen's going to be way more effective at it as soon as he finds that Discord timing. For now, Fearful has taken a lot of damage. We already have Nano. We don't need this much damage. But the payload is at least still moving for him, coming up to the big ult exchange.
Yeah, there's a big ult exchange coming, but honestly, I feel like Pokerface, they don't have the defensive solutions that New Era do. The Nano and the Trank together, that's a lot more than what a Valk can provide. Valk might enable a trade, but Spint opening pick onto Dodo with the Barrage. Spint has been slept up though. No kills converted because Heiser jumps deep, takes down MCD, and it looks like, what? Fearful pops the Primal Rage, 2 versus 5. He wants more. You're going to get nothing for it, mate. Go back to spawn and keep this series competitive because it's a joke v joke right now as neither team can take this seriously.
All these jokes, but nobody's laughing. Double support ult coming back. New Era with this double support ult and a Bob to try and force point, but they are struggling to get through this choke right now. Heiser is just camping it, has this Primal Rage ready to go. Nade's going to splash onto the backline here for New Era. They still just want to force the objective, but without a tracer or anything like this, it's kind of just Fearful who has to touch the point. Just trying to nudge it around the corner. Dynamite will come back their way. Archie's going for a very aggressive Bob right now. They've lost MCD on the way in. Engage is looking good. Heiser's got the Nano on the other side. Damage from Spint 2 during all of this. Transcendence has been forced out of Kivvies. Not in time to save it, but they've lost Donghun on the way in here, down with Valk. This is going to send them back. But Bob now comes through from Alien, rather. They're trying to continue to get these trades. Bubble comes out to minimize some of that. And they're actually trading their way out of this pretty reasonably here, Pokerface. But they will get a recontest, but now one fight territory.
Yeah, I feel as if these trades, they're not worth enough because the card has rolled now that we're in the last fight territory. Archie backed up, being blocked off by the Winston, but with no jump pack damage and a Zen orb to keep Archie alive. It is going to be New Era eventually swinging back on this high ground. Nano available. New Era, nobody's healthy though. Everyone's taking a beating. Nano comes out onto Fearful now. He jumps for the Ash. He takes down the Ash, but Spint again. It feels like Groundhog Day as once again Dodo goes down to that Barrage, and Donghun is ready with the res this time, finding some value with the Mercy. Heiser, instead of primaling 2 versus 5 like Fielder, he's going to primal and go for the backline, maybe take down MCD, and Pokerface, they're solidifying this hole.
Steals a few more meters as Kivi's right at the end here, but doesn't make any too big a tangible difference. We're still in a last fight situation either way. That has taken a lot of resources out of Pokerface though. We saw the Primal Barrage, Valk thrown into all of that as well as the Bob here. So we're a little bit low on ults until they get this Nano right now. So maybe a timing for New Era. Molten Core, Transcendence, Primal, all good tools. But the problem for New Era is can we get close enough to payload to use these ults to win the fight, not just to try and survive the rotation.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, surviving the rotation is not nearly enough. You actually need to kill the enemy team in order to push that cart over the line. Chris Fury be damned. We're not playing Reinhardt and standing on cart with a shield up. Bint appears to be dying in the enemy team spawn. Up on the fire, the fighter goes down. Where on earth are we? It feels like we're fighting for the first point objective right now. 1-for-1 trades again as Alien catches Dodo. Let's see if Donghoon's good for a res here. Archie catches Spint, and I haven't seen a res come out yet. Oh, Fearful with the Primal Rage kills missing, and that's another push. Oh, I mean, New Era, they've got a real chance here now.
Oh, wait, yeah, Alien's actually getting the full pocket from Donghoon here. Might get a chance for getting a kill. One more shot. Can't land for shot.
No
Alien's
no
going to regroup underneath. Donghoon has died underneath. Nano Boost comes out right now. Kivis has dropped it, but Alien was naded during all of that as well. So he will go down. Transcendence allows them to stabilize here. Just need to deal with this Bob. Wait it out. Nano comes through from Archie. They're going to keep pushing. Now the Nano comes through. Double backline Nano. But wasn't everything okay? They bobbed and nanoed for that? I guess it's just last fight, so it's like whatever, but yeah.
It felt like it was going to be fine, but low ult value meant that New Era were able to just sustain for a couple of seconds. A good nade meant that suddenly New Era could just push back in with their own nano boost and just muscle out on the objective. A later Bob as well. I mean, it was a real dogfight, to be honest. I feel like both teams are playing beyond Mickey Mouse comps. Genuinely beyond Mickey Mouse comps. Like, my entire kingdom for a Brigitte right now. Neither main support apparently interested in playing Brig in the Winston Arna mirror. But no, I mean, we've got Spam all over the place. We've got a Mercy, we've got a Zen. Everyone wants to play a high-risk backline. And I mean, you know, there's a reward somewhere in there, but we are seeing an actual dogfight right now between New Era and Pokerface. And the loser of this game is out of the tournament.
Yeah, everything on the line, and they're pumping so much into the Anna Mercy there. I feel like I can really get behind the Anna Mercy as, like, we ban Diva, we go Anna Mercy on Rialto first, and we just, like, it's a really good point for it. We'll just crack open first, and then we can just, like, what they've done in the past is just then swap to, like, Lucio Genji or something, you know, depending on the bans. And it starts to just look like a nice little, like, little advantage to get yourself through what can sometimes be a difficult first point. But they're just really doubling down on it here, and you see Spint having to do a lot of things you wouldn't typically associate with, I guess, like, a Farah's job or where Farah is most impactful. And yeah, doesn't work out for him in the end. And New Era, despite losing I think it was 3-1 to Pokerface last week in the regular season, find themselves ahead in this series right now.
Yeah, I mean, it really has been blow for blow. At the end of the day, look, let's call that Rialto a little bit of a blip, because there were less blows and more pure domination there. But Koth, absolute back and forth dogfight, miracle clutches. Here on Blizzard World, again, miracle clutches, total dogfight, down to the final minute, and just outrageous. I feel like I can't pick a team that's a favorite here, because both teams they're a little bit experimental with what they're doing. Like, we saw backline dying initially. No, there's truly, if you're a gambler right now, I mean, I'm not sure if you're loving or hating this, but there's no certainty about it. Yeah. Is Crazy Raccoon versus Falcons next game? I don't know.
It's the third game of the day. It's
don't answer.
Oh, what? Are you gonna trick him?
Don't tell them. It's not a trickery thing, but, like, I don't know. They shouldn't know either, you know?
It's like you're gatekeeping knowledge, but you're also gatekeeping it from yourself.
Exactly right.
Deliberately misinformed.
If I'm not interested to know, then they shouldn't be either.
If it's not interesting for me, it's not interesting for anyone.
Exactly. What kind of logic is that? You're in the wrong stream. Sorry, Tyler. I'm sorry. That's just plain stupid. Yes, just stupid. I'm talking to you, mate.
I think it's fair to say, whoever wins this game, they're surely just going to get fucked by FTG tomorrow.
They are going to get their insides turned out by Little Heesung tomorrow. So what we're watching here, it's just a formality before Heesung has their way with them. At the end of the day, like,
privilege of the
not
stage
happening.
time situation, isn't it? You want to come on stage for 3 more maps tomorrow? Yeah, we'll make an appearance.
yeah, I mean, I'm expecting New Era. You know, they're gonna win this one, and they're gonna tweet about how they need an organization. They'll do better next time, and then they'll load in tomorrow, and Heesung is just gonna fuck them. He's just gonna fuck them. Vigi, no, there's no hope. There's no hope at all.
I do have to say, thank you as well, Travis Scott, for the kind words on YouTube. Presumably the real
Oh.
Travis Scott. Glad he's a fan.
What about that concert you had?
I'll let you know what he
Moving
says.
on. Moving on.
Um, I do feel like there's this kind of weird thing with Korean teams. Was it FTG who did it as well, where they'll like win one game? Or was it FTG they went like 3-2 with Falcons? They were like, come on guys, pick us up, sign us for an org type thing. And I feel like, I mean, I guess there's no harm in asking, right? But I feel like really the etiquette is, maybe the etiquette's not the right word, but like if you're the team, you kind of need to, the time when you get picked up is when you qualify for a tournament, you know? Once you qualify for that tournament, maybe you go, look, we're going to make Asia LAN. Back us here. We can represent your branding, your sponsors at this the big Overwatch event in Asia in Seoul or something. I feel like when you just do it after you just win a regular season game, it doesn't have enough weight, I think, to justify it to any org. Or any meaningful org, at least.
용병술에 성공한 듀에라입니다. 피어풀 선수가 이제 교체 투입이 돼서 그 부분 굉장히 좀 재미를 많이 봤습니다.
Yeah, right. They lost the regular season game as well.
그 포커페이스 입장에서는 지켜야 되는 그 라인.
It's like I just...
공간을 열어줘야 되는데 그 공간 사이로
It's the equivalent of going, applying for a job, and you'll be like, honestly guys, if you look at my CV, I worked for one of the biggest companies in the world. I was fired, sure, but I was fired by one of the biggest companies in the world. So let's not underestimate how big that company that fired me was, you know? It's like, it's not quite the sales pitch maybe they think it is. Morning 7M. It's New Era 1 Hannah Sophie, so they've taken the lead here. Morning Power, doing your A-level coursework. It's due on Monday. That's alright. A-levels aren't that important, I think. Morning Quark. I say that. Still do the work, but you know, there's more work on the horizon. How many kilograms can you bench? I don't know. I don't really do bench. When I work out, I just have like dumbbells in my room, so I normally just do like a little bit of a dumbbell routine and an ab workout. So I never do like a bench press. Probably not that much as a result of that situation, I would guess, though. Can I flex? I don't think I have anything right now. I can try really hard, but I've been very poor with my workout this year.
자, 파라가 밴이 됐습니다. 그리고 마우가가 한 번 더 밴이 됐어요. 마우가의 체급을 약간
Yeah, as long as you pass, yeah. Like, I didn't get, what did I get? I think I got, like, I want to say B, C, D at A-level, and, like, a C at AS, which is, like, a half A-level. And that was more than enough to get into university.
헤이저 선수의 뭔가 그런 느낌상 볼은 안 될 것 같아요. 볼보다는
CEEU for your AS levels. Did you not do A levels, Chrissy? My A levels were all like. Sorry to anyone who's doing this for A levels. All of my A levels were like useless. I mean, my AS was chemistry, right? But that's only a half qualification, so I guess chemistry is like feels like it has the real subject nature. But I did sociology, which was my B, psychology, which was my D, and IT, which it feels like IT should be a useful one, but honestly, the fucking IT I did at school, like, we're just learning about fucking Word docs and mail merge. Like, completely not the sort of IT that will actually help you get any real job in computing or programming. So yeah, all Kappa qualifications, I think, in reality. I mean, to be fair, sociology and psychology, they were interesting, right? And that's kind of why I picked them. They were interesting. But I think unless you're going to really like go into that field, as it were, they're not really They're more just, I think, for your own interest.
자, 결국 좀 리장터랑 결이 좀 비슷하죠. 윈스턴이 적당히
Alright,
먹어주고
Esperanza, and we're going to get the Faraband coming out from New Era, and that was in response to Pokerface banning the Mauga here. So we've not seen either of these teams really play Mauga so far. It's been banned on 2 maps. We did see it a lot yesterday in... none of them, Shiv, none of them. Maybe Psychology, I guess. But it was like very much an entry level. At A-level, it's still like it was the first Psychology we did, so it was really entry level. So yeah, haven't seen a lot of Mauga from either team so far, but we did see a lot of it yesterday in Zeta versus Falcon, so it seems like neither of these teams are that interested in playing that version. New Era going to lean into the D.Va, Torb, Sim again, and it's a Winston and a Lucio Echo in all of this right now, so Pokerface, some iteration of a dive comp. But for now, New Era just happy to bully point back the Sim and Torb, reasonably good at clearing Heiser right now. And it's kind of just a very slow fight. Race to Nanos unless Missing gets punished for that nade, but it's actually Ruler who might get punished. Just about avoids for damage, but Archie not so lucky. So opening pick for way of Pokerface. Now they can look to set up their next dive on Heiser's bubble timing. Look for Missing to try and find the follow-up with the nade. Beam onto Kivvies as well. Does survive, but MCD not so lucky. And after that opening pick, Pokerface are just pulling them apart. Left, right, and center. They lose Missing, because that's just, I mean, that's just par for the course if you're Pokerface to lose your Ana at some point. But a clean first fight, and we'll be rolling that one forward. Hold on, I'm reading about the qualifications now. Alright. Always interesting how it works in different countries. Nalvo, miss it. Hang in.
2 minutes? Very late. Very late.
Will this guy ever lock in for his job? The answer is no. Nano boost onto Ruler coming out right now. On pressure onto the Sojin. Alien has slid back. A little bit of a boot from Donghun. Now Heiser gets the counter Nano going in. Spin tries to go over roof, but doesn't get that copy in time. Heiser's good for getting a couple of kills and living as well. Doesn't want to pop that Primal if he doesn't have to. Primal advantage, or sorry, player advantage. Well, both. Mean that they can just keep forcing the point for now. Ruler's going to try and push for backline, but Heiser's keen for the cap. Primal Rage has now been forced. What can Heiser find with it right now? Trying to get him in. Does have that heavy landing perk as well. And honestly, this heavy landing perk has actually made such a difference, I feel like, to the primal value we're seeing in all these situations. Isaac contains everyone at the choke. Pokerface have got checkpoint wellness has happened, and a strong start for them.
You think that the heavy landing perk is the difference maker? It's actually the fact that they are Korean. Nothing to do with the perk.
Is that not a perk
Spin
as well?
from the flank. No, being Korean is not a perk, it is a privilege. Flank comes in from Pokerface Spint. He's landed the nade with the copy as well. So New Era, they're already 4 versus 5. Heiser's in deep. There's actually nothing to keep him. There's something to keep him online as Donghun comes in with the beat. Kivvis, he popped the beat himself, but it looks like New Era are just getting stomped right now. Still, my entire kingdom for a Brigitte, and there is no chance that we will be seeing it anytime soon. Kivvis thinks we're getting chopped up by a Winston. Time to go Kiriko. For sure, mate, for sure. Just a bunch of Overwatch 2 main support players in the lobby where not one of them likes to play the traditional heroes. So New Era, once again on a comp that is a teensy tiny bit vulnerable to Winston dives, and Missin has a nano boost to throw out onto Heiser now.
It's going to be a nano overclock actually as well here. So trying to swing the corner, loads of damage through. MCT is going to just get chunked through that one. They trade Alien at least, so it's not the end of the world. 1 for 2 trade considering there were 2 ults invested there. New Era's recontest should seem a lot more viable. Need to be careful they don't lose anyone late. Kivvis is going to try and keep his flank position here for the recontest. But Donghun is all over him right now. But I don't think anyone is killing anyone in this 1v1. Have they all come back for him? They've all come back for him. Okay, they'll get the pick, Heiser will reset, and now they can push with player advantage, actually. Not the worst decision. Rotating background, will group up. Thank you, Boingson, 747. Boeing.
Wait,
Boeing's on 747.
you've got Boingson today?
Yeah, Boingson, yeah.
No way. Talk about switching sides, Boingson. Hey, how'd Falcons go yesterday, buddy? How'd they do? 3-0 pred for you, you fucking bum. Pokerface, they're maintaining the car position right now. Alt advantage for New Era. MCD can throw it out at any given moment, but they're happy to just play it slow because Dodo is going to take down Spint in the neutral. Heiser, he's got the Primal Rage. He is going to look for the clutch. Anthony just splashed onto Dodo as well. He's so low, he receives that counter nano. Deflect to keep him alive into a nano, and Heiser's going to have to run away. Kart starts pushing back into New Era's territory, but really, Pokerface, they've already got all the lead they need to close out this map.
Ooh, dink from Kivis doesn't quite confirm the kill there onto Alien. Donkin is going to come try and respond, but he might regret this decision. Maybe he won't. Will he regret? He will regret this decision, just about. No one seemed to be helping Donkin clear out that side, so it was a solo mission. Heiser's found a trade right now, but all the kills, the majority of them are going the way of New Era. They finally get a bit of a chance to put some meters on the board. They'll push it forward to the middle point, get to set their runner up on the high ground, nearly have their DPS ults and Kitsune rush as well here. So New Era's first chance to put real meters on the board.
Finally, they can get that snowball rolling. I think now that they've got position, reasonable chance for Kivis to carry. He can go play wide, he can TP back. MCD can play very, very far away indeed. Rail comes out onto Archie though, and he's going to have to run away, slide out of main, and it's a slow neutral for the start. Spint, he's playing on this left-hand side, just jockeying for a little bit of position. With Pokerface, they've got lots of ultimates. They might go for a nano Winston dive any second now. So many ults online for both sides. They're really just waiting for the first player to pull their ulti.
Jump onto the Sojourn here, but Alien is nice and safe. Copy comes through. It's Blade coming out here from Dodo, but Spin's just going to try and take it. Will be forced out for Copy. Gets away from that Blade, so it doesn't get anything. Donghun is now beat. They still have the Nano ready to go as well. Ruler has the Primal to try and storm this out as the support ults are traded. Double Nano onto the backline right now to live. Donghun trying to find some value with it. He's going to dive up onto the high ground with Heiser. Dodo is low. He's good for it. He has been slept, but he's found the opening here. Now the double Nano back in response. Heiser has the Primal to keep going. He's got the backline in his sights right now, but Ruler's using the tail end of his Nano to turn into a Primal, and Ruler's good for all of them. Heiser doesn't invest.
Ruler, I mean, he's cleaned house of this Primal Rage, and that's going to be checkpoint for New Era. The recontest for Pokerface, simply not possible. So even though they had ults to keep on scrapping it out, keep on fighting, looks like the trades were enough that they decided, let's just give them checkpoint, let's just play for next. We're happy with our 127-meter lead, but they're keeping it close now, because honestly, New Era, with the checkpoint, this is their biggest opportunity to actually get back into it. Spint up in main. I mean, he's just poking. Maybe they'll just play park the bus, play slow around the corner, try and maintain positioning.
It's a bit awkward for New Era, because even though they need to chase the game, they did use all of their ults in that previous fight, and now they're dealing with this overclock, and oh wait, they are dealing with this overclock. The Primal is still going in the backline here, but if New Era can just weather a little bit more of this storm, they're going to be in a great position. They need to pocket Dodo out through this Echo, but Spin has actually made a meal of this kill, and New Era back with them there. 2 ults invested for Pokerface, 0 value. Suddenly the momentum takes a massive swing in New Era's favor.
Jeez, I mean, look, talk about tossing a lead. Pokerface, they just keep on giving tower positioning. They invested 2 ultimates into that fight for 0 from New Era. A 2 for 0 trade and losing the fight, you can't be having that. Pokerface really trying to end the series here and now. They thought map 5, just not for us. 127 to 0 meter lead, not for us. Now a deep nade from MCD. He's got that nano boost available. That nade is splashed in the backline, though 3 players antied, which means that even if there are no kills conceded, look at the meterage, Xavier. 1 fight win for New Era right now, and they're going to have the fight.
MCD has to be careful. He's quite far forward, but obviously has that strike perk, gets the defensive nano out. It's onto Archie. Again, they can't quite find anything out of this right now, but they do kill Heiser. Heiser doesn't get to that Primal. Donghun nearly has beat, but they need to try and reset right now, and this could be lead going. These late kills, stuck in spawn, Spin, good trade coming out from him right now. Donghun has made his way out the right-hand side here. Don't know what he's hoping to achieve. Just trying to keep his life, really. But now in this next fight for New Era, it's for lead, but they don't have Dodo.
No Dodo for this final fight. They need the touch right now. New Era immediately. Ruler is going to jump to the objective. Nade splashes onto Archie as well. But God, this is so close. Donghun's pulled the beat. Deep dive onto Archie now. He pulls the clock. Suzu comes out. It's really back and forth. But MCD, he's found the kill on Spint. Archie onto Heiser. And it looks like Pokerface from 127 meter lead. Dodo's incredibly low. He will be traded. But it's going to be so hard for New Era to maintain their position. Oh no.
Oh my god, it's even a bit of danger of a full cap right now. Nade is going to splash for choke, and Kivis is good for the dink as well, so Alien can't get the touch. Heiser has to jump for it. He's 96%. He's desperate for this Primal. He gets for Primal. He's all over Archie right now. Heiser's going to get slept up, though. They'll top up Archie, put a lot of damage on. Archie's going to slide out one more time. Can't get pocketed through it. Heiser is good for the trade. Double jump back to spawn. They have stabilized at the last second here, Pokerface. But remember, this is an elimination map for Pokerface. They have to find a way to win this spat from here to stay in the tournament.
mean, it's do or die. They're pushing back in. We're about to reach an overtime situation. Everyone from New Era is going to get the close spawn now. Pokerface, Spint is back spawned. New Era, they all have the close spawns. Really close ult situation, though. One ult advantage for New Era when Kibis gets that Kitsune rush online, but all the pressure's on Pokerface because they need to keep on touching cart. We might see a Nano Blade, we might see a Nano Winston, but really, New Era, with this 10-meter lead and the fact that they might just be able to take 2 fights, MCD, he knows it too. They're going for 2 fights. They go for the Nano Blade. Dodo, he pulls the blade, the Nano Blade in response from Pokerface, but MCD with the flank, he's caught a kill onto Alien. Spin takes down Dodo. It's 2 for 2 right now, but again, Pokerface, they need to keep touching. Heisa kills Archie. New Era, they're down in this fight. Ruler's dueling with Missing, but he finds the kill. Pokerface, oh, MCD's good for another one. It's MCD versus the world, but it's not over, Xavier. There's one more touch.
MCD is still battling away in the backline here. Heiser has to be careful not to get traded. What are we thinking, Heiser? He has to stay on point. He needs help. He's off point. Overtime is ticking down. Spin is going to rush for it. Dash is onto point right now. Forces Kivvies out. Suzu has been required right now. No one ultimates, but Ruler is anchored point with this Kitsune rush. And I think they've done enough in the end to hang on New Era. They will win it. Scare from at the end, but what a comeback there. 127 meters down, no problem.
Outrageous comeback. Even LL Cool J would be proud. It appears that the entire team, they are borderline in tears at this one, as, you know, even they did not expect to come back from a 127-meter deficit. But apparently all you need, it's not a Brigida, it's just the Kiva swap onto Kiriko. That's all it takes. So that is going to be New Era cleaning this one up against all odds. Goofy comps on either side. Ridiculous comeback for New Era at the end there. Who's up next? Are we going to get some quality Overwatch now? Or?
Way versus Zeta. Here's one for you as well, right? That wall in the middle between the 2 desks, is that new? Is this some kind of handbin-based wall?
They don't want people seeing hard screen, so they've added a blocker.
Yeah, I think they, like, what, it's gotta be, right? Like, what else would it be for? To account for Hanbin's extremely angled monitor, they've had to put in a protection wall.
Jeez. I mean, look, I got 30 minutes ahead of me. I've got how many minutes left on this Tomakan video? Not quite 30, but I'll milk it for all it's worth. See you soon.
Keep milking.
Keep milking.
Surely they could just put him on the right hand side. I mean, that would also work. I mean, presumably they probably just have one of these dividers available, so it's both fixes are easy enough. New Era won. Yep, New Era win.
키비스에게 엄청하거든요. 네, 실제로 피오테인까지 받은 키비스 선수고요. 확실히 그 공격적인 본능이 대단한 선수입니다.
Alright, and New Era win. Oh, thank you, Ice, for the 6 months. Thank you very much. Congratulations yesterday as well. Hell of a performance. Just got to make sure you do the job today against Sakura. But that should be, honestly, the performances and results you've got so far, the Sakura game should be in the bag, you know? Don't count your chickens before they hatch and all that, but done the hard work, just need to do the easy bit now. Way versus Zeta is our next match, and then Falcons Crazy Raccoon to close out Korea. So yeah, pretty good day of action. We'll get some decent games. I think the EMEA, I mean, Peps are going to play later tonight as well, so we'll see Ice, I guess I say Ice in action situation. But I think the real highlight game is going to be that Genji versus TU game later in the EMEA. Then we've got North America going to play some games. But you know how it is sometimes.
오늘 키비스 선수가 POTM을 차지하게 됐는데요. 부산 국토대장정이 아쉽게
What happened to Imo yesterday? Missed the games. Yeah, he definitely missed the games, and he was definitely banned. They said it on broadcast. From what I understand, it's and I don't really know the full details at all, but from what I understand, it's just a his account was banned in game. I don't know what it was banned in game for. They didn't say on the broadcast, but yeah. Was it just like bad language? Okay. I mean, from what I hear, Imo has maybe a little bit of a reputation as a bit of a ranked flamer, but I mean, just don't play on your ult, mate. Play on your ult. You get banned from your match. They didn't really comment a lot on the message they said on broadcast when somebody sent me the clip of So was basically just the minimal information, you know, of like, he has been banned, so we won't be playing. It wasn't like, he is banned for this many games, he is banned for a month, he is banned for this period. You know what I mean? There wasn't any kind of detail on like when we can expect Immo back, because Vision play again. They play again tomorrow.
난리가 났었는데 이때 좀 상황 설명 부탁드려요.
처음에 그냥 루시우 시작하자 이래가지고 했는데 생각보다 어렵더라고요.
Yeah, they play tomorrow against VP, so I guess that's like sort of don't know when we expect Immo back, or is he just gone? Just gone until further notice.
집중했다 보니까
Ooh. Anyway, I'm gonna grab a drink.
룰러 선수 많은
We've got like a better series coming up next,
아니었나 싶어요.
or at least
시작까지
better in
걸어가는
terms
거,
of
이거 다 사전에 합의가
maybe a little
된
bit less
건가요?
chaotic,
저
or
뒤에서
a little bit less
얘기하고
random
있어요.
with some of the comps, but should be a good series up next. So
아, 근데 룰러
I'll be right back.
선수가 제일 손해 아닌가요?
이제 민호 선수랑 피어풀 선수랑
네.
대호까지 손잡고 걸어가면 돼서
아, 크게 상관없다.
네.
알겠습니다. 자, 그리고 마지막에 이제 감독님이 눈물을 보이셨어요. 아, 이제 매번 경기 시작 전에 기도를 하신다고도 제가 들었거든요.
네.
그만큼 선수들을 강하게 키우시지만 사랑도 너무 많이 하시는 감독님이 아닐까 싶은데요. 감독님께 한마디 해주세요.
아마 이번 시즌 성적이 안 나오면 아마 감독을 그만한다 했어가지고 이번에 포커페이스 이겼으니까 다음 시즌도 같이 하면 좋겠다.
같이 하면 좋겠다. 이 말에서 많은 점들이 느껴집니다. 자, 그리고 오늘 키비치 선수 특전 이후에 첫 힐러 POTM을 받게 됐는데요. 오늘 물어보고 싶은 게 굉장히 많아요. 그런데 첫 번째로 오늘 다양한 영웅을 하셨더라고요. 루시우, 일레아리, 키리코, 제냐타 중에 어떤 영웅이 좀 괜찮았나 궁금해요.
키리코가 제일 사기인 것 같아요.
왜죠?
그 순보 두 번 타는 게 진짜 죽는 것도 살아가지고 너프해야 될 것 같습니다.
너프해야 될 것 같다. 강하게 한마디 하셨는데 날아다니는 제냐타는 어때요?
그것도 재밌는 것 같아요.
특전 이후에 좀 제일 재밌어진 영웅은 뭘까요?
저 아나인 것 같아요.
아나요. 한타 한 번에 네 명이 나노를 받고 날아다니는
네.
모습이 굉장히 무서워요.
그게 진짜 사기인 것 같아요.
네, 그렇습니다. 자, 그리고 우리 뉴에라 팀 비교적으로 신인 선수들이 굉장히 많잖아요. 키비스 선수도 그 중에 하나라고 이제 알고 있는데 앞으로 어떤 선수로 팬분들에게 기억되고 싶은지 한 말씀 부탁드립니다.
제일 잘하는 서필이 되고 싶습니다.
이렇게 마지막에 수줍게 제일 잘한 선필이 되고 싶습니다. 이렇게 저 마무리를 해보도록 하겠습니다. 그리고 오늘 팬분들 굉장히 많이 찾아주셨어요. 우리 누에라 팀을 끝까지 항상 응원을 해주시고 계신데요. 팬분들께도 한 말씀 부탁드려요.
항상 믿고 응원해 주셔서 감사하고 다음 경기도 잘해보겠습니다.
네, 이렇게 수줍은 매력이 가득한 키비스 선수 만나봤습니다. 자, 그리고 제가 아까 인터뷰 전에 일리아리 궁 대사를 여쭤봤는데 왜 기억을 못하시죠? 태양 기억나시죠? 기억이 안 나세요?
이 자리 너무 오랜만에 해가지고.
그러면 제냐타 궁 대사로 마무리하겠습니다. 이거 있잖아요. 이거. 팬분들 알려주세요.
고요를 체험하시오.
네, 자 이렇게 귀여운 매력이 가득한 키비스 선수의 인터뷰까지 마무리해봤고요. 저희는 다음 경기로 다시 돌아오도록 할게요. 자, 제타와 웨이의 경기로 돌아오겠습니다.
Alright, I'm back. Cans on. Wait, what's this one? Should I write me as a stakeholder into my coursework? Only if it's good power. Don't put my name on anything bad. Just got up with Zeta versus Falcons, and I want to reiterate something that has been I've been saying for 2 years now. First, Alpha E is underrated. Beyond that, Alpha E Flora DPS line is top 2 DPS line in all of OWCS, and Flora is living up to what we were hoping when he joined Excelsior. Second, honest, chat's moving too fast. Second, that Alpha E was the most valuable player of Overwatch League Season 6 and is still the MVP. No one player elevates a team above their level the way that Alpha E elevates Zeta. Oh, that's mighty high praise. I don't know if it's that high, but Alpha E was good for it yesterday until he got subbed out, I guess. But yeah, I think it's like a really weird situation for Zeta. They have 2 players who are both high quality players on that position, but I think Alpha E is really a top tier player. And if he wasn't in the situation where he sort of subbed in, subbed out so often, I think, like, you know, we always talk about how stacked like DPS is in Korea, but I think like Proper, Stalker, Heesang, Alpha E, Avenue Folk really should throw Pelican into that as well. All these top tier players. Alpha E and Pelican just in the situation where 2 of them are on the same team and not always starters. Who do you think is the most impressive player on the bottom 3 teams? In Korea, you mean this? Maybe it is Heiser? I mean, I'm a go-to dart stan, but he wasn't that impressive in this series, and he's limited impact. Did I see the latest Smash tweet? I have not. Let me see it right now. My eyes. Fuck. I've actually been hit with a classic. I see this happen to Sideshow all the time. Fuck. I'll learn. I'll learn. Sideshow recognizes the URL. The URL or like the numbers at the end. Thought we were gonna get a smash banger now as well. I'm disappointed. Simple on vision. Yeah, when he's not on tank, yeah. I mean, Taejong's still a really impressive player as well. I think, oh, thank you, Badafida. Maybe I've said that right. I feel like I have such a low percentage success rate with names, but thank you for the prime. Yeah, I think I've been really surprised by Jaewoo. I thought he looked just like a, just like a decent flex DPS in Korea. First, you said it correctly. I think yes. Unbelievable. Actually, today's going to be a good day. I've now got such a... That spurred me on to bigger and better things today now. It's going to be a good day. But yeah, I thought Jaewoo looked like a pretty reasonable player. Again, like, he was showing play time with Choice A1 last season a lot. Random Sideshow, do they know you? Yeah, I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I used to play TF2. I also used to cast TF2 with Sideshow and Bren. So I don't really speak to him anymore. Not out of any, not out of any malice or spite, but just you lose touch with people over time. But yeah, used to cast with Bren and Sideshow. Went to a good few lands with them. Lots of good memories. Top blokes, I believe, would be the correct. That would be a fitting statement. Oh, sorry. I may be super late to this question, Graham, from YouTube. Haven't seen any pros with perks yet. Has it shaken things up at all? Not massively. I think we're still seeing lots of similar metas. I don't think it's been a huge shift. At least so far. We're only a few days deep, of course. But feels like it's just really... It's like there's a few interactions. It changes now. We're seeing like Genji's find a little bit more success with Blade. We're seeing... maybe the Winston Primals feel like notably stronger as well. So like improvements in some of the interactions or like better conversion rates, especially with some of these, but not anything like massively meta changing. Panda asks as well, did he play with that monitor setup last year? Because I don't remember seeing it before this year. It's in regards to Hanbin and his sideways monitor. From what I understand, I forget the name of the exact condition, but it's a problem with his eyesight, essentially. So he's got it, like, I guess, angled more towards his stronger eye. VOD? Okay, yeah, you're right. I should do the VOD.